Vitamin D, also known as the sunshine vitamin, often mysterious, misunderstood, and very, very confusing. But this super vitamin nutrient is extremely important to your health, the health of your bones, obviously, but also to your skin. But many of us fall short when it comes to getting the amount we need. So let's take a look at the facts of vitamin D deficiency on your health and your skin. And yes, we will be answering that question about sunscreen in today's video. Welcome back, everybody. This is a video that is really long overdue, and I get so many questions about vitamin D. It's so confusing. Which type of vitamin D do we take? There's more than one out there, actually. And how do I make sure that I'm getting enough? Now, if you're new to my channel and not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Gibson, a skincare expert. I've been doing this stuff for 36 years, helping people find skincare that will work for them, not empty their wallet, and not do them more harm than good. So if that sounds like you and the kind of content you've been looking for here on YouTube, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. First, let's clear up any confusion about the types of vitamin D. There is vitamin D and then vitamin D3. Now, there are quite a few differences between vitamin D and vitamin D3, the main one being that vitamin D is fat soluble, regulates calcium and phosphorus in your body, whereas D3 is the D that we actually produce from sunlight or synthesize from being in the sun. And while unfortunately it is hard to get enough vitamin D through diet alone or food alone, and our bodies make up some of the difference through getting that vitamin D from sunlight, unfortunately, as we know, too much sunlight leads to other problems like skin cancer and premature skin aging. And you might know that that UV light wave that your body actually needs from the sun to make that vitamin D3, yeah, it's the same one that causes sunburns. So how then do we go about ensuring we're getting enough vitamin D? Well, we have to turn to supplements. And there really are two of them out there, vitamin D3 and vitamin D2. Now, most of the time, medical professionals recommend vitamin D3 because it's a more active form and it's more efficiently used in your body. So while some fortified foods are supplying that vitamin D, things like yogurt, milk, bread, many of those type of items have it added, it really is proper supplementation that can make the difference. The proper amount of vitamin D helps support your immunity. Obviously, it supports bone health, but even of more importance on my channel, because we talk about skin health and skin aging, its ability to help prevent premature aging of your skin, and also the breakdown of collagen. Now, I also often talk about the recommendation that people take vitamin D3 along with vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 actually helps your body use calcium in a more efficient way, keeping it in the bones and out of your arteries and calcification in brain tissue. So vitamin D3 actually directs the role of absorption of calcium from your intestines into your blood, and then vitamin K2 picks it up from there and gets it into your bones and makes sure it's available for where it's needed, improving collagen production, supporting bone mass, and overall health. And another area that vitamin D3 really supports is emotional wellness, as it has been shown in studies to directly have implications when it's deficient in your overall mood. All right, so we know we need vitamin D3. Well, what about this age-old question about sunscreen and wearing sunscreen? Does it prevent you from synthesizing enough vitamin D? Now, for those people who live in northern latitudes with cold, dark winters, and I know I lived 16 years in Pennsylvania, so I know how this is, there are often more folks with vitamin D deficiency. In fact, some studies show that people in the northern tier of the United States and Canada, 70% of that population can be deficient, and it can be more so in populations like the elderly, people with chronic illnesses, and darker skin types. And vitamin D deficiency has also been shown to be a big player in seasonal affective disorder. That's that type of depression people get when they are not getting enough light that helps activate the mitochondria in the body. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, see what I did there? To be fair, there are studies that show that folks who live in sunny climates and wear sunscreen, someone like me who's been wearing it since my late teens, early 20s very consistently, necessarily have vitamin D deficiency. I've been tested many times, have never shown that. The bottom line here with sunscreen is that because you can get vitamin D3 through supplementation, through fortified foods, and through some incremental synthesis, even if you're wearing sunscreen, sunscreen needs to be a part of your daily anti-aging skincare routine to protect your skin from the damaging effects, premature aging, possibility of skin cancer from UV light from the sun. Now, moving on, let's talk about how much vitamin D do you actually need to take if you take a supplement. As I said, I think it's important to pair vitamin D3 with vitamin K2. This is a supplement that I take. I'll link below to this product down in the video description box so you guys can check that out. I also have a dedicated video on vitamin K2 and D3 that I will put a link to down below in the video description box. I highly recommend that you watch that video after this one. Most multivitamins out there are going to include between 600 and 800 IUs of vitamin D3 in the formulation. The recommended daily allowance is 600 IU. Some formulations include D3 at levels of 5,000 IUs. This one does, but again, remember, D3 is the D that you produce naturally and not the one that can cause problems that we would see at the lower IU levels. Now that still begs the question in this video, how do I know if I'm vitamin D3 deficient? The best way is to talk to your doctor and get a test, but there are some signs, things like thinning bones, brittle bones, osteoporosis, muscle weakness, fatigue, and even signs of depression all can be related to low levels of vitamin D3. And if you live in those northern latitudes where they have those long, dark, cold winters, you could be more at risk of being deficient in vitamin D. And if you really feel you're at risk, it's important to talk to a medical professional who can talk to you about the proper dosage that you need, can look at your lifestyle, help you decide, and run tests to tell you exactly what your vitamin D levels are, and then you know how to proceed. And just keep in mind, like with many things, too much of a good thing can be a problem. Too much vitamin D can cause nausea, weight loss, and a whole set of problems. So really, it's always best to follow label instructions, and again, talk to your doctor, get that test, and go from there. And for even more ways to roll back the clock on skin and body aging, be sure to check out this video that's coming up next. Thank you guys for watching and supporting my channel. I really appreciate you. Stay beautiful, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you over on that next video.